You might remember from my previous video that I was not too keen on cooking chicken in the Instant Pot. You know, sure, it can get really soft very quickly, but what about the crispy skin? What about the juiciness? And I know what you're thinking. Well, easy for you to say. What are busy families to do on a weeknight? How else do you get chicken thighs on the table in about 30 minutes? Well, I have a dish just for you. These crispy, juicy chicken thighs with prunes, balsamic vinegar and soy glaze can be yours in about 30 minutes of prep and a little planning the night before. Let's start by trimming the skin of our chicken thighs to fit the meat. And if you see any large chunks of fat, trim them off. To help our thighs cook faster, we'll make 2 slits around the bone. This opens up the thighs and helps the heat penetrate. You want pretty deep slashes, but don't go all the way to the skin. Once all the chicken is trimmed, salt it on all sides, being a bit more stingy with salt than usual. That's because we'll be adding soy sauce to the sauce. Use a bit more salt on the flesh side and less on the skin side. Now we need to give the salt time to absorb. You could let the chicken sit at room temperature for 1 hour and proceed with the recipe, but to pull this dish off on a weekday night, it's much more convenient to trim and salt a day before. Cover the chicken and put it in the fridge. You can even do this up to 3 days ahead. When you're ready to cook the chicken, fill a medium bowl with 1.5 cups of hot water. Add a 1/4 cup of Grand Marnier or some other booze like brandy, Madeira or port. Alternatively, you can use red or white wine or skip this entirely. Add 4 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 cup of pitted prunes. Let the prunes soak while cooking the chicken. We'll need to choose a skillet that can fit all the chicken thighs in a single layer. My go-to pan for this is this big 12-inch straight-sided stainless steel skillet. The straight sides will give us more cooking surface, so we'll be able to fit all 7 or 8 chicken thighs in one go. And the stainless steel will give us those delightful, rich brown bits that will produce a killer sauce. But if all you have is a Teflon pan, don't let that scare you. Go ahead and use it. It'll still be a good dish. If you're only cooking 4 chicken thighs, the best size for that would be about 10 inches with sloped sides. Set the skillet over high heat and add 1 tablespoon of oil that has a high smoke point like grapeseed, safflower or canola. Our next order of business is to ensure that the chicken will not stick to the skillet. If your chicken has ever stuck to the skillet, I can show you how to never ever let this happen again. Basically, you just have to dry your chicken really well. I know all the recipes say to pat it dry with paper towels, but I don't think people take this step seriously. I like to give my chicken plenty of room, so I lay out a piece of foil on the counter, tap it with a paper towel, lay out the chicken and press another paper towel into the top. Gently squeeze each piece to make sure every bit of it is completely dry. Even try to get into the slits around the bone with your towels. There should be absolutely no glistening on the surface by the time your chicken hits the pan. At the very first hint of smoke, place the thighs into the skillet skin side down. It's okay for the thighs to touch, but not to overlap. Cook uncovered for 1 minute, then cover the skillet with a lid and lower the heat to medium and cook for 10 minutes. Monitor the chicken as it's cooking, but don't try to lift the pieces. Just go by what the outside of each piece looks like. If you see things turning black, that means your heat is too high and you want to turn it down a little. If you see the slightest hint of moisture on the bottom of your pan, that means your heat is too low and you want to crank it up. The reason we don't want to pick up the pieces yet is because in the beginning the chicken could stick to the pan a little. That's totally normal. But you don't want to rip the skin by picking it up prematurely. As long as you dried it thoroughly, by the time the chicken is brown, it will let go of the pan very easily. After 10 minutes, uncover the skillet and check the chicken for color. It should come off the skillet very easily at this point. If it's not beautifully brown, crank up the heat to high and cook uncovered until it gets there, maybe a minute or two. Reduce the heat back to medium and sprinkle the chicken with black pepper. Grate a couple of garlic cloves on a microplane zester, mix them with a few drops of oil, and spread this paste on top of the thighs. Things should smell really good at this point. Flip the chicken over and cook on medium heat for 2 to 3 minutes. Then start checking the internal temperature with a thermometer. Unlike chicken breasts, thighs taste best at a very high temperature. You're looking for 170 Fahrenheit and up. If your thighs are not uniform in size, start checking with the smallest one and move them out of the skillet as they are done. This big one needs another minute, but my little ones are done. Just make sure to keep them skin side up at all times so that the juices don't make the skin soggy. Once all the chicken is out of the pan, spoon out as much fat out of the skillet as you can without driving yourself crazy, and pour in the prunes and all the liquid into the skillet and let them boil over high heat until they turn syrupy. This can take 5 to 10 minutes depending on the shape and size of your skillet. At some point, scrape up the brown bits from the bottom of the pan to integrate them into the sauce. Once a flat spoon leaves a trail on the bottom of the pan, take the sauce off heat. Stir in a tablespoon of butter. It's optional, so if you're serving someone who can't have dairy, this dish will be lovely with or without butter. Return all the chicken back into the skillet along with the juices that accumulated on the plate and cook on low heat for about a minute, tilting the pan in different directions so that the sauce can get into all the crevices of the chicken. Serve over anything your heart desires, though I particularly like this chicken over rice. Unfortunately, nothing like this can be pulled out of the Instant Pot the moment you walk through the door, but when you take the first bite, I promise you, it will be worth the 30-minute wait. I did use my Instant Pot for the rice and it came out perfectly. By the way, the rice is not green because I got the white balance wrong on my camera, though I do that sometimes. It's green because I stirred in a bit of salsa verde to make it taste herby and aromatic. A question I often get when I make this recipe in class is, can I leave out the prunes? Of course you can. You can substitute dried apricots or cherries or raisins. You could even leave out the fruit entirely. Just reduce the amount of water a little bit by about half a cup and maybe add a tablespoon of maple syrup or honey to compensate for the sweetness. But I also strongly believe that most people like prunes. It's just that most American people don't realize it yet. So don't knock it till you try it. Give it a shot and let me know how it goes. If you try this dish and have feedback for me, or if you have any questions, don't forget to start your comment with #realcomment. Here are some more in-depth cooking tutorials for you to check out. And if you are ever in the Boston area, maybe I'll see you in person in one of my classes.